go when you risk your life just to speak.
Om Shanti everyone, welcome to the next normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. Don't you love that? I'm so lucky to be in America. That's by a young girl in Florida, Miami, the daughter of former Miss World, Lexi Brockway Potamkin, and her daughter Elea, who did that song for us for the project, and I just thought it was so lovely. I mean, think about it. There are many people who feel very happy to be here, and I believe that they have the compassion in them to see the best of the country, so they bring the best in the country. If I'm not able to see the best in the country, I leave it alone. I use it for what I can. I take advantage for whatever it does for me, and I move on. And I actually don't really care. And that's the sign of when your heart has become compassionate less, when there just isn't an accumulation or an attainment of a lot of good wishes and pure feelings, a sense of gratitude, so to speak. Anyway, we are continuing our conversation, part 2, on compassion and how much the world needs compassion now. And the question is, where did compassion disappear? Why is it that only when we look at suffering on the TV, or we look at dogs that are astray, and what is that organization, ASFC or something, that rescues dogs and takes care of them, and they ask you for a $5 donation, or St. Jude's will show you images of children with cancer and families who are so grateful for our donations to help them. People who are sometimes building their profile will say, oh, I donate to St. Jude's. Again, because it wants to touch the hearts of people. But I'm talking about real compassion today. And our focus today on compassion is compassion with one's self. And where did that disappear? Where did the compassion to take care of our interior world disappear to? When did it start? To move away from my own emotional, mental, spiritual well-being. When did it start for the soul to step away from oneself? I use this a lot, this self-deception. It might be some incarnation that I might have mastered in some previous birth. But when I see it in people, it just makes me go, oh my goodness. Why would we do that to ourselves now? Maybe back then, in those days, it was required. I don't know. But in the age of the Great Awakening, which is the confluence, it is the age to be true. I want to give you an example. Just see it for a little bit. It'll move over into compassion. Have you ever found yourself in a pattern? And maybe you're not even conscious of it. But let's say you're on a diet. And everybody's giving you vegetables, you have vegetables. And you eat your vegetables, and you don't really want the vegetables, you want chocolate cake and ice cream. And when everybody leaves, you run to get the cake and the ice cream. And when everybody comes back, they'll ask you, did you eat? Yeah, I had the salad, it was so good. You never mentioned the cake or ice cream. You do it 2 times, you do it 5 times, you do it 10 times. And this energy of cheating, lying to the self, becomes your nature. You don't even know you're cheating yourself. You think you're cheating people or impressing others, but it's really myself. The compassion slips out the window because I'm not being true to me. And truth to the self gives you mental freedom. Your face sparkles. Your eyes, your energy, your aura feels clean. I've been there. Not sleeping, not doing well, just in a messy state. Your face is your mirror of your life. Your aura reveals the truth of what you're doing. And even if you think you're sleeping, and you sleep for an hour, 2, 3 hours, it should show in your face that you're resting. And when people look at you, they should see you look rested. But instead, your aura is shady, hazy, dull. And you wonder, what is going on? There is no self-compassion there. If I'm going to have self-compassion, I have to start to see the good that is in me. Because if I start to cheat myself in my subconscious, in the sanskars, it knows I'm not doing well to myself. It knows that I'm lying to myself. And there is a guilt or a shame that's connected to that. So there's no self-compassion. It starts there. It starts internally with the way I am governing my life, the way I'm talking to myself, the way I am with my family. Self-compassion requires being aware of my weaknesses. I know I have my weaknesses, whether it's food, whether it's I don't know, all the things that, can you believe I'm looking for a list of weaknesses, I can't find them, but I'm sure we all know what they are. Lying, cheating, stealing, porno is a big thing where people watch things they shouldn't see and their energy gets, when I accidentally come across something that is so negative, it's just, it shakes me. But to indulge in it, can you imagine what it's doing to the self? It's no compassion on the self. So when you start to identify, I have limits, that is important. Because you know what is taking away your powers now. Compassion will say, I understand you're struggling, but look at your strengths. I'm here to help you. I am here to help you. And so the compassion on the self will look at the self and say, what do you need? I need truth. I have to stop cheating myself. I need to find my space, my freedom, my creativity. I need to feel safe. And so compassion will allow you to be very clear and very open with your own world. And there's a mystical power in it. Compassion with the self will attract people to come into your life to be of support. It's an incredible thing I've seen. I've had it in my own life. But the lack of compassion began when I stopped really listening and paying attention to my better self. And there's something in my conscience that's hurting me. I've been doing things against my value. I'm doing things against my peace, my purity, my love. And I'm not addressing what I've done to myself. I've done it to others, but the intention I did it to others with leaves a mark in me. That wasn't good. That wasn't right what I did. But I don't address it, I ignore it. Just like those commercials that are asking you for money with St. Jude's, or to come and help the animals that are being rescued. Sometimes you turn away when it looks too awful. I don't want to see it, it's too much suffering. Same thing with the self. If you can't find something good about yourself, you've lost all compassion. Please underline that. And it's huge. Sometimes in our teachings of Raj Yoga, Baba will give us this assignment. Write down your specialities. It takes people a long time to do it. But then, if you're asked, tell me what are the defects in this person, the list is instant. Our compassion is waning. We're too focused on the negative. My story is, I let you go to trust you. You're going to do the right thing. And there's a particular point where it's not working. And then I have to come in and say, that's enough. You can't continue like this. You have to change something. My compassion is there. But if it isn't done with love, it deletes it. It's so ironic, right? And so through meditation and through spiritual knowledge and through practice, we're able to develop and cultivate an attitude of compassion that consistently really tries to support the well-being of everyone by supporting yourself. How often do you give yourself time and care and appreciation and gratitude for your energy, for your efforts in life? I bet very rare, huh? Even as I'm telling you, I'm reminding myself of it for my own self. Compassion for the self requires us to look at our strengths, but to be aware of what our limits are. That's a huge, huge requirement to develop our compassion. You must know it's taking away your powers. And if somehow you've reached a point where you're just not truthful anymore, then the compassion will go out the door, because your internal story will be, don't listen to him. He never tells the truth anyway. That's you talking to the self. And so you continue with the habit. Baba used to say this to us over and over again. If I don't really reveal to him what I'm thinking, what I'm saying, what I'm going through, he can't help me. Even though we think God knows the secrets of our hearts, he doesn't. Unless I truthfully let him know. And sometimes the truth hurts, but it also liberates. Compassion with the self, I'll say it again and again, starts with seeing the good that you are, and to understand and be truthful with where your limits also lie within you. It's the same way when somebody's good to you, it's easy for you to help them. When somebody is unkind and has done you wrong, or is very, what was somebody yesterday said, irritating sanskars, you step away, and that's the same thing we do to ourselves. In the same way that we move away from people with negative vibrations or thoughts or attitude, it's the same thing that we're doing to ourselves. And so even if you see someone that have limits, there's got to be something good in them. And that's why we have to see what's good in ourselves, no matter what it's like, what we've been through. There is something good in you. Compassion for the self will assist you in cultivating compassion for our world. Without compassion for the self, you will care less what happens in the world around you. But you want to take everything for yourself. That's not the time we're in. This is the Great Awakening. It's a time for us to connect the soul to God and to pull the positive energy in the soul in such a way that I will forgive myself for whatever I've been through, whatever I've done, and move on. Move forward. Taking things personally can hurt you to such an extent you never get back up. But if you choose to take something personally, take it personally that you are loving and kind and respectful and powerful and pure. Take that personally. So that if you go against it, you automatically get a trigger. That's not it. Don't do that. You can get angry for 5-10 minutes max. And when you're done, it's like the tsunami or the hurricane that blows through. Does a whole bunch of damage. And then you have to find the compassion to clean up. Fix things. Make it better than what it was before the tsunami of your anger or lack of compassion flows through. The journey of a Raj Yogi, which is what we practice here at the Brahma Kumaris, it is a day-to-day practice. But imagine this. The ultimate destination of a Raj Yogi is a state of perfection. Perfection in the context of loving, kind, wise, understanding, peaceful, respectful, truthful, honest, dignified, gracious, benevolent, very generous, and it's constant. I can't wait to reach that state. It just flows. And one day it will, because of the practice. Let's take a moment and just take a deep breath inside of yourself for a while. How long has it been since you really looked at yourself with gentle eyes? With a forgiving heart and deep acceptance? How long has it been since you've looked at yourself with gentle eyes? A forgiving heart. Starting today, practice it. Every hour on the hour, see yourself with your eyes being gentle, applauding yourself for the journey thus far. And learning from the bumps and the bruises and the falls and the mistakes. Creating within your personality deep wisdom of things you don't want to repeat. It's the Great Awakening. It's a time to reset the soul's potential and power in proper space and time to put it all together. To press that reset button is the greatest act of compassion. Because I'm giving myself another chance. Do it better now. Do things better. You're God's child. God is available for you 24/7. If you think of God, He becomes available. Another act of compassion. This is our Great Awakening. And despite the weaknesses that pull me, your compassion has the power to raise you up and release you from regret, guilt, shame, disappointment. Compassion is very powerful. It heals, it releases, it empowers. So take a deep breath in. Keep your gentle eyes focused on yourself. Walk with forgiveness in your heart. Keep practicing. Om Shanti. Okay. Thanks for joining me on that little journey. Let's go to our awakened intelligence. Self-compassion is the act of being kind, understanding and forgiving towards oneself, especially during times of failure, difficulty, or perceived inadequacy. That's a big one. That perceived inadequacy, how many times we feel that as a person, and there's no compassion there because something in the soul feels it's not enough. Very interesting. It involves recognizing that everyone makes mistakes, faces challenges, and experiences pain as part of the shared human experience, and that being harsh or overly critical with oneself isn't helpful. Here are some main elements: self-kindness, common humanity, having mindfulness. You notice how many of them they mention mindfulness. Self-compassion will foster emotional resilience, improve your well-being, helps you to respond to challenges with greater ease and care. I love that one, that behavior. When you're a compassionate person, you're really cool, especially cool under pressure. Talk about somebody who's cool. Sister Gita effect. Here she is.
Mind, what is it? Sitting down and experiencing peace is one thing. Actually using it to transform my life is quite another. A great deal goes on between the intention and the action. And sometimes I catch myself saying, I didn't want to do that, but, or, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. To be in full control of my life, I need not only be to know, but also to understand the process through which my intention becomes an action. For instance, a variety of raw materials go into a car, manufacturing plant, sheet metal, nuts and bolts, electrical wiring, paint, and so on. These raw materials can be compared to my experiences and intentions. As the raw materials pass through the plant, they are processed and eventually emerge as cars. However, imagine that there is a consistent fault in the production process. I could set about repairing each car as it comes off the production line. But this would be time-consuming and hard work. It would also be very frustrating, as I would consider that the factory had been built to produce faulty cars. Similarly, changing my actions superficially will not bring about profound changes in my life. This can work to a limited extent, but I will be continually faced by faulty actions from the production line, and it will seem very, very hard labor with not much reward. Instead, I need to check the raw materials of my experience and also become familiar with the production process of my desires and actions. It is not enough for the engineer only to know approximately what happens on the factory floor. To repair a fault, he needs a detailed working knowledge of everything that is going on. The same applies to the mind. So when there is a thought, I am a peaceful soul, the relevant actions need to follow automatically. However, is thought the only link between intention and action? What about the expression, think before you speak? Undoubtedly, there must be thought before I open my mouth, or nothing would emerge. So, what is meant here? There seem to be two aspects to thought. The first is the thought itself. The second is the awareness and understanding of that thought. So, the thought, I am a being of peace. What is the understanding there? Think about it. This is practical meditation. Thank you. Have a grand day.
Thank you, Sister Gita. Today's Avyakt signal, these deep, subtle thoughts and feelings we carry. And these come from our advanced classes in the Murli, of our advanced classes in the Brahma Kumaris. It's very powerful. For today, the Avyakt signal is, when hearts are united, God's sanskars will be visible in your sanskars. When hearts are united, God's love, power, peace, purity will be visible. Then the drums of revelation will beat and completion will take place. Then there will be hope in the hearts of people, and people will begin to do better. God now wants to see the great dance of souls harmonizing their sanskars with each other. For this, first of all, adjust yourself and have the determination to harmonize yourself with those of others. The power to adjust will enable you to harmonize your sanskars with others. It takes a lot of humility and compassion, and it's not impossible. When you're with babies, you're like babies. You're with the old folks, you're like them, you're like this. Just, you don't lose yourself. You are you on the inside. Anyway, life continues to offer us many gifts. Today, thank you so much, Kimberly. This is helpful. This is helping me with my therapy patients and in my own marriage, getting straight to love and the pure source of God, thereby letting go of intellectualization, big one, Kimberly, as an ego defense mechanism. So just being compassionate of ourselves and others and being loving and kind. So true, no? That's really what we're here to do, to be loving and kind. Good morning, Sue. Glad you enjoyed it. Rosie, nice to have you. Good morning, sister. I'm here in Natik from Hyderabad and cannot move out. Can you come and help me? Rosie, I wish I could, but you're going to have to help yourself. Whatever you're going through, whatever you've got dealing with, you're going to have to look inside of yourself and recognize you are the great manifester. So the compassionate thing for you to do is to start to write down the vision of what you want, start to serve it, and be patient. Lilawati, hello, Om Shanti. This is so powerful to me, sister. Life has been texting my strength and compassion. I know, it's for all of us. Hi, Asmita, Yukti. Hi, Jackie. Support the well-being of everyone by supporting yourself. Isn't that a good one? Hi, Gigi. Gali deals. This is such an important topic. We often forget to be kind to ourselves. It's so true, no? And Brinda Bella, every time I watch your videos, I feel a wave of peace. Thank you. Amazing perspective on how we can nurture our inner selves. The way she speaks about self-compassion is empowering. Deepika, good morning. Love sea salt. So grateful for this content. It's exactly what I needed right now. Travel Kwa. I'm learning to practice self-compassion every day. Good job. Good girl. Love how you emphasize this. Thank you so much. Certified Lady. Richie Sharma, Hispanic Services. Dinesh, Azuri, Kushali, Jenna, Christy, Anel. Wonderful, Kailash. And it's a great topic, huh? Seems like a real need of the time for us to be a little bit more grateful. While meditating, tears rolled out. Is this a form of compassion to the soul? Yes, Asmita, it's a form of healing. When you start to experience real pure love inside, it's hard. You start to realize how much you've missed loving yourself. And being able to love yourself is the greatest healer. So thank you all today for joining us on another amazing episode of The Next Normal. And I hope it's benefiting you and you feel the sense of community and strength, keeping it consistent and keeping your energy up. If you have negativity in the world and you come home and there's negativity, where do you help yourself? How? Remember, practice loving everybody the same. Your love will keep increasing. Om Shanti. Please take care of yourselves. Please. Om Shanti.